Hello everyone and welcome to Maskcast, the official Masked Singer podcast. The Masked Singer has been so loved for so many seasons now that we thought that it was about time that we gave you a podcast. My name is Nick Johns, I'm a TV producer and I have worked on some of TV's biggest entertainment blockbusters. Shows like I'm a Celebrity, Dancing on Ice and Love Island. And I am a massive Masked Singer superfan. Over the next 8 weeks, I'm going to be here twice a week to give you as much inside scoop as I can possibly find on the whole Masked universe. Every Monday, I'm going to be joined by a celebrity guest who will give me the inside track on why they are such a big fan of the Masked Singer. And I'll also have an exclusive interview with the latest star to be unmasked. And then, every Thursday, we'll be hearing from the people behind the scenes who make the magic happen. But most importantly, I'm going to be hearing from you, my fellow masked fans, with your theories on who you think is behind the mask. Now, I'm as in the dark as you are. I might know the Masked Singer insiders, but it's a military operation down there, and I'm not allowed to know who each act is, so we're all in this together. It's going to be a lot of fun, it's going to be fan-focused, and it's going to fill your podcast ears for the next 2 months. This is Maskcast.
Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya? Who's that behind the mask?
In case you missed it, here's a recap of Saturday's incredible opening episode.
We are just getting started, people. It's Maple! Ricky, everybody! Thank you! Give it up for weather, everyone. Yeah! Beautiful.
Who are ya? Who's that behind the mask?
What an unbelievable show that was. We also waved goodbye to some incredible weather.
Take it up!
Who's that behind the mask?
Dionne Warwick, everybody!
That's who it is.
Wow!
Now, every season I'm amazed at the talent we managed to secure, but I was genuinely blown away by the fact that in episode 1 we saw the legendary Dionne Warwick unmasked. Davina and Jonathan both guessed right.
This is a woman who knows who she is. She feels confident in her place. You are a singer for sure. You are a soul diva. Like this is someone so in command of the audience. Somebody like a Dionne Warwick, but
I mean, if it's Dionne Warwick, it's amazing.
yeah.
I'm gutted we said goodbye to such an icon so early on, but the good news is that we did manage to grab an exclusive interview with Dionne the second she came off stage. What made you do The Masked Singer?
Well, I did it in the States, and it was so much fun. And when I got the call and asked if I would do it here, I jumped at the opportunity. I said, yeah, let's go have some more fun.
What did you make of people's guesses? We had Macy Gray, we had Bonnie Tyler.
I've been a lot of people, none of those in the past, but it was quite interesting to think that I sounded like Bonnie Tyler, like Macy Gray, Sade. Okay, I'll take that.
How have you found keeping this big secret?
That's the hardest part of it all, because I'm a talker. I love to talk. And I couldn't talk to anybody. In fact, they gave us the sweater, the shirt, t-shirt thing, hoodie. That's what it's called, hoodie. That says, don't talk to me. Now, how are you going to tell somebody not to talk to you? But I had no choice. I had to follow the rules, and so I didn't say a word to anybody, and it was the hardest thing in the world for me to do.
Do you think people will be surprised that you were unmasked as weather?
Well, maybe. You know, I've been telling people since I got here, I'm going to sing this song and then I'm going to say goodbye. It's been a pleasure. Because I mean, it's at a point now where a lot of people thought I lived here. I was here so much and doing so many concerts throughout the entire portion of England and I mean, the entire area. And the fortunate thing, and in some cases unfortunate, but unfortunately, I have never been able to disguise my voice. And that's been my blessing. And I never want to disguise it. So the minute I open my mouth, everybody knows, that's Dionne.
You've achieved so much. Do you still get nervous?
You know, I've never been nervous, ever. I've been singing in front of people since I'm 6 years old. It's kind of late to be getting nervous now. I have no reason, I don't think, to get nervous. You know, I've always adopted the attitude that wherever I'm performing, everybody in every one of those seats came for a purpose. That was to hang out with me. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to hang out, have some fun, and enjoy what we're doing. Because I get them to sing with me and laugh with me, and you know, there may be a couple of tears here and there, but the joy is that they're the reason that I am where I'm at on that stage, and I'm the reason that they're sitting in that seat.
Do you have anything left to achieve?
Oh, yeah. You know, it's still the Oscar, the Emmy, and the Tony. Not necessarily in that order. Hey.
Davina rightly said that power was one of your strongest clues. Where does your power come from?
You know, I think I was brought up with it. And I think the answer is, as I said up there, my MO, method of operation, is complete honesty, total of straightness. I am completely always who I am. I don't want to be anybody else. I like me. So I have no reason to want to be anyone other than who I am. And I think that is my power.
So what advice would you give to younger women who are wanting to get into the industry?
You know, it's one of the hardest things in the world. First of all, the industry that I grew up in no longer exists. It's a brand new industry, and it's all geared towards the youth, the youngsters, as my music at the time I was performing at the beginning was geared for my peers. The only thing I can say is that you have to earn it. Nothing is given. Work hard, hone your craft, and go for it. And you're going to get a lot of no's, which goes with the territory, but eventually that no will turn to a yes. So just know that you have to be ready for it. You know, the door will open, and when it opens, be ready to walk through it. I cannot imagine a world without music. I couldn't begin to imagine that, nor do I want to. And I hope the world feels that way about music. Music is a healing force. You can't do without it.
Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya? Who's that behind the mask?
Each week on Maskcast, I'm going to be joined by a special guest who will help me pick over the puzzle of just who's behind those masks. And I'm delighted to say that this week's guest is a successful solo artist in his own right, but also one part of a legendary punk pop band. It's Busted's very own CHARLIE SIMPSON.
Hello, how are you, man?
I'm very good, thank you. Delighted to be in the company of Rhino.
Yes, man.
How has the year been as reigning champion of The Masked Singer?
Do you know what? It's been an incredible year. It's been one of my favourite years, I think, so far, really, in my career, definitely. Winning The Masked Singer was an incredible experience. And then we announced 20-year anniversary Busted tour, which went absolutely bananas. And then we got our first #1 album. So it's been a big year, and it all started with Rhino.
For any newcomers to the show, CHARLIE won the last series of The Masked Singer, performing as his alter ego Rhino, beating finalists Fawn and Phoenix, also known as All Saints star Natalie Appleton, and Kaiser Chiefs frontman Ricky Wilson.
Rhino is our champion, and it is finally time to reveal their identity. Who's behind the mask? Take it up! Take it up!
Who's that behind the mask?
Charlie Simpson! Your winner is Boston and 5-star Brit Award winner, Charlie Simpson.
It's such a surreal experience being on The Masked Singer. I have to hand it to the people that go on the show, because it is without doubt the most terrifying thing I've ever done. I mean, we're lucky enough to do a lot of big live shows in my career so far, and none of them compare to the nerves that I got when I stepped out as Rhino for the first time, because it was just like stepping into such an unknown world. You know, I remember being told, because you're behind a mask, you can sort of embody a new character. Do you know what I mean? You can sort of take yourself places where maybe you haven't been before. But I didn't really feel like that. I just felt terrified. I just felt like I'm just so scared of what's going to happen. You know, I didn't want to mess the song up, and I was singing songs that I was sort of, you know, very much new to. And what's interesting is that some people decide to change their voice. I didn't really do that. I just decided to sing songs that were very different to what people would associate me with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd credit to anyone that steps out on that stage, because it's very nerve-wracking.
I'm astonished to hear that you were nervous. What do you think the root cause of those nerves are then? Just that it's a different way of performing?
I think it's just the pressure of that one-time thing. I mean, I have it when I go on live radio. There's something about a live performance that's broadcast to a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? When you play a show, you know, it's contained within a room. And I know these days anything that happens is on a mobile phone or whatever. But it's just something so daunting about all the film cameras being there, the lights suddenly shining on you, and then you being this costume. And, you know, the Rhino costume was not an easy thing to walk around in. I was really hot, sweating. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a genuine fear. Terrifying. Honestly, I cannot put it over enough how scared I was.
I mean, terrifying. The other word that people use a lot is liberating. Did you get that sense as well?
Towards the end of the show, as the weeks progressed, you know, this was very much the first show. Do you know what I mean? The first time I'd done it. And I remember coming off stage after singing Chasing Cars, which was my first song, and then just feeling a rush of, okay, I can do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is doable, and I want to, because I wanted to start enjoying myself. Because up to that point, you know, I just lived in this really anxious period of what's it going to be like, and you know, what if I mess it up, and all the rest of it. And you know, it's such an alien environment. And getting that first song under my belt was really important mentally, to be able to just say that I can do this. And then as the weeks went on, I just got more and more confident. By the end, I remember stepping out and just then really enjoying it, thinking I can do this. And I'm very much used to playing with a guitar. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always have a guitar on me, or I can hold a mic. So it's very weird to not do anything, to have nothing to do with my hands. That was a new experience that I was, you know, learning to deal with.
I want to go right back to the beginning. What made you get involved with The Masked Singer in the first place?
So I remember seeing the first season of The Masked Singer and thinking it was such an interesting idea, because it just looked like a lot of fun. But I really liked the concept. You know, it's such a mad concept and unlike anything on television. And this is the first time I'd actually done sort of Saturday night TV. Do you know what I mean? I've never really done a show like this. And that was for good reason. You know, I've been asked to do a lot of shows, and I've said no. And there was something about this show that just felt, you know, comfortable to me and looked like fun. I thought my kids would love it. It was another big reason. You know, I've got a 5 and an 8-year-old, and I just thought they liked the show anyway. So I thought that would be really funny to do it and then take the mask off and then to see it as me.
Did they love it?
They did love it. They guessed me within 8 seconds of me singing. They said, "Daddy, that's you." And I sort of played it down and I said, guys, it can't be me. Well, the thing is that obviously it's not live, so it's pre-recorded.
Yeah, right.
And we were in Kenya because my parents-in-law live there. So we were there for Christmas. And we all watched it in Kenya, and I said to the kids, "It can't be me because I'm here," and that really blew their mind. They were like, "Oh, that's true." But I just loved watching it, throughout the weeks with them. And then when it came to the final, a few of my friends just sort of clocked on that it was me, and we had like a gathering to watch the final to see if it was me. And I remember when I took the mask off, my youngest literally just jaw dropped, and he just sat silent for like 5 minutes. I was like, "Are you all right, Jago?" Like he just couldn't get his head around it.
And is it true that Kenyan connection is where the Rhino concept came from?
Absolutely, yeah. My wife was born in Kenya. She grew up in Kenya. She moved over here when she was 16, but I've been on loads of safaris, and I've actually walked with rhinos. I've actually been on a private ranch and walked with endangered rhinos, and they're incredible animals. And so when that came up as a concept idea, I thought it was awesome.
Were there any other costumes on your shortlist?
The show said that you couldn't be a character that's been done in any Masked Singer in any country in the world. And obviously it's pretty much in every country now. So I was actually thinking about being an astronaut. And that had been done, I think, in Germany. So sadly, I couldn't do that. But to be honest, because of my Africa connection, I was just so drawn to Rhino. It wasn't even a question. As soon as I saw that was an option, then I was like, that's definitely the one I want.
Got any rhinos around the house now?
We literally have. So we've got like an amazing silver rhino head that I was given as a present from one of my friends. I've been given rhino key rings. I'm like, it's just collecting different rhino stuff. And I think I'm always going to have this affiliation with the rhino now. Like, I don't know, it kind of stays with you.
Rhino's a very good association, right? That is a good spirit animal to have.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I like to think that they're gentle giants, you know what I mean?
And we're big fans of rhinos. I hear we might not be big fans of lions. Did you have a close encounter with a lion on a safari?
I did have a very close encounter with a lion. Too close for comfort. We were on safari. We were in a tent, and basically we just had dinner out in the veranda. It was like one of those really smart sort of glamping tents.
We
had a little veranda, and we ate dinner on it, and then went to bed. And then in the middle of the night, I woke up and I just heard this chinking of our plates, like it was something was outside. And I thought, okay, well that must be monkeys, or something small. And then I just heard what can only be described as a very loud diesel engine. It's like, and it's like, it must have been 10 feet away from the tent. And I remember just saying to my wife, what are we going to do now? Because, I was terrified. She would be calm in that situation if it wasn't for me. I was making her scared because, I was just getting so freaked out by it. So I had this harebrained idea that I would get a box of matches. I crept over and got a box of matches, and I said, right, I'm gonna light the tent on fire, and then we're just gonna run. We didn't do that, luckily, because that would have been a dreadful. That would have been a dreadful idea. But yeah, no, it was a close encounter.
How did you scare the lion off?
It just luckily just walked off.
Sort of only way.
Well, yeah. I mean, funnily enough, I went to the owner of the camp the next day, and I said, guys, there was a lion outside our tent, and no one was doing anything. And they were like, lions walk through here all the time. Chill, man. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? They're much more interested in the animals than they are interested in eating you.
Right, let's talk about your experience as Rhino. How does it feel to be inside the costume?
I chose quite a big costume, so mine was mainly made from like sponge, so that I think adds a lot of heat. So I did have a costume that was very hot, and so getting into it, I wouldn't be able to be in it for more than sort of half an hour without having to get out of it again. And I did have two amazing girls that were my fan blowers, and any time I wasn't on camera, they'd either strap them into my suit or they would just come and put them in the eyes. And
you touched on this before, Charlie, but I'm interested to know, did you try to disguise your voice and your mannerisms when you started the process?
No, in an answer, no. I didn't really just try and disguise my voice. I just wanted to make sure I was singing songs that people may not necessarily recognise my voice on. Do you know what I mean? I think it is a risk changing your voice, I think, because like if you get it wrong, it's just not going to not sound very good. But you know, you still at the end of the day, you still want to sing well, and so I just didn't want to pick a voice and then watch it back and think, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And congratulations. I feel like those congratulations are very delayed, but congratulations on the victory. And what that victory meant, of course, was that this year you got a spot on the judges' desk.
Yes.
And how did it feel to be on that side of the fence?
It was so bizarre turning up without one of those visors on, because people don't realise this. And, you know, a lot of my friends after the show said, well, you know, but the judges clearly knew, really. Or, you know, you obviously, you know, you didn't really have to hide your face. And I promise you, it is like MI5 at the Masked Singer. To the point where I thought I couldn't even go to the loo without putting the visor on. So you have your own dressing room, and you cannot leave that dressing room without the black visor thing, which I still have, the don't speak to me hoodie, you know, the full clobber. And so going back and just walking around freely was very weird for the first, you know, half an hour or so. But I loved it, man. It was really, really nice catching up with the judges and, you know, just seeing it all from the other side of the camera.
Is it more nerve-wracking being a judge or a contestant?
Contestant every day of the week. I wasn't that nervous being a judge. I mean,
Weren't you?
No, not really. I thought I just wanted to have fun. I guess because I was so comfortable in the environment I was in, because I'd been there, it just sort of felt like, you know, returning to a fun thing that I'd done.
Who was your biggest competition on the judging panel?
Oh, do you know what? Davina is an incredible judge. I mean, an incredible detective. Like,
right.
she watches everything.
Right.
I to be honest, I spent a lot of time nattering to Jonathan just about random film stuff, because I know he's a massive film fan and I'm a huge film fan. So we were like two little schoolboys in the corner.
So, Charlie, Joel said you look like a younger version of Jonathan Ross.
You look like possibly Jonathan Ross 30 years ago. You look absolutely... you look like father and son right now.
Yeah, come on, let's have a hug.
Come on,
How did you feel about that?
I'll actually take that as a compliment. I'm a big Jonathan Ross fan. I have been for years. I watched him growing up. You know, I watched some legendary performances. I got to talk to him about some legendary stuff. You know, when Nirvana played his show, and you know, he's a legend. So like, I took that as a compliment for sure. But Davina is an incredible detective. She analyzes every aspect, and it's difficult. You know, these clues, they're pretty obscure. I mean, even some of the clues that people were given for me, I couldn't even remember myself. Like I remember watching back thinking, how have they even found that out? But then what's crazy is you go on Twitter and people know. You know, people are amazing at this game. It's incredible.
What was your favourite of the performances that you saw?
I think my favourite performance. Actually, I don't know. I think my favourite costume was Weather. I thought her costume was absolutely incredible. But performance-wise, I think they were all good performances in their own way. But I think that there was just something quite classic about Weather's performance.
Weather! Oh! Yeah! Wonderful. So, Jonathan, do you know who it is?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, what an amazing performance.
Yeah.
I know this is someone who knows how to perform. I suspect has had a long career and a very successful one. And I've got to say, this is probably my favourite costume of all time. I think it's so beautiful.
Me too.
So beautiful. I'm also liking the costume's giving me a natural glow from the left.
It is.
It's absolutely fantastic.
It's definitely a singer. I think definitely a soul singer. First of all, I thought, could that be Grace Jones? Then I thought, could it be Chaka Khan? Could it be Dionne Warwick?
Honestly, I thought it was Macy Gray. And I thought Dionne Warwick was a possibility, but I just thought there's no way, because she's an elderly woman, that she's going to be flying over. It was inconceivable to me. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, you know, when Jonathan said, I think that's Dionne Warwick, I was like, Nah, can't be. I tell you what it was just absolute ease with her surroundings. I knew within 10 seconds of seeing her perform, I knew that it was someone that had been doing this for a very long time, because it's almost like there was no need for her to overperform or over exaggerate. She just stood there and delivered in a way that she's done so many times before. So I knew that it was definitely someone that had been around for a long time. I just didn't think it would be someone that had been around for that long. You know what I mean?
Amazing. And you saw half of the Masked Singers performing. It's a tricky question to ask, but do you think you've seen the winner performing?
I think it's way too early to be judging, from these performances, whether someone could go on to win, because I think that there's people that may be nervous on the first performance that will find the confidence. Do you know what I mean? People are going to evolve. It's a long series. It's 8 shows, so you've got to give people time. I'm
really genuinely off script, but I'm really interested in that observation. Do you think people do transform over time?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to realise how alien the situation is. No one on that stage will have done anything like that before. I mean, they may have dressed up and sung at a party somewhere, but really analyse what they're doing. They're stepping into a very elaborate costume. They're going on stage. They can barely see anything. They're singing songs they haven't sung before in front of millions of people. It's definitely possible that someone that finds nerves on the first show may, second or third show, get comfortable and then absolutely start to blast it,
What does the show represent to you?
Absolute fun, first and foremost. Secondly, it represents something personally in my life that I was really nervous about and apprehensive about doing. And as I touched on earlier on, I put myself in the most vulnerable really of situations, because when you're in the unknown, you do feel a bit vulnerable, and I think that it sort of empowered me and gave me a huge sense of confidence, especially when I won it. It's like I just felt really good afterwards, and I think that it was just the show and that period in my life will hold a special place. You know what I mean? I have very fond memories of the entire thing.
It's lovely to hear, Charlie. Thank you so much on behalf of all of us here at Maskcast for coming to talk to us about it. And awesome. Thank you on behalf of the whole of the Masked Singer team for the work that you continue to do as Rhino. It's much appreciated.
Very much looking forward to watching the rest of the show, because I'm a fan now. I'm going to be watching every season.
Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya? Who's that behind the mask?
As expected, that has been incredible fun. Who would have thought that we'd learn that Charlie was so in awe of Davina's detective skills, and that he nearly got eaten by a lion? Now, whilst we've had 2 superstars on today's podcast, I want the next one to feature you. I want you to tell me your guesses, no matter how ridiculous they are, and I want you to send me any questions that you want to know the answers to. What do you want me to find out from backstage? Let me know and I'll do my best to get an answer for you. After all, us Masked Singer superfans need to stick together. This has honestly been so much fun. I'll be back on Thursday when I'll be discussing why Rat's van is missing a U and whether Maypole has done a spin in the Big Brother house. So don't forget to subscribe so that a fresh episode lands in your inbox twice a week. Until then, bye Maskcasters!